And it's driving them crazy. So we're thrilled to be here tonight, and I am having a lot of fun. But it is true, I'm having fun because nobody ever would have believed in a million years that we would have accomplished what we've accomplished. Nobody has accomplished more in 2 years. You take a look at the first 2 years of any nobody has even come close to accomplishing what we've accomplished. And I'm doing it for you, and we're doing it together because this is a whole thing that has never happened in our country before. You know, it's interesting. When we first started, there were a lot of people always showing up. And by the way, you think this is a big crowd in here. This place is packed, right? Right to them. And if there was one empty seat, they would say, as the Washington Post did say, the Washington Post came, you saw that, right? Came to an arena someplace 4 hours early, and they hadn't started letting the people in yet. And he put a picture of an empty arena. There were tens of thousands of people outside waiting to come in. The Washington Post put a picture of an empty arena, and they put a caption to the effect, "Mr. President, not a very good crowd, is it?" And you know what happened? And they had a picture up of an empty arena like I didn't even land for 4.5 hours later. And when I landed, that place was just like this. It was packed with thousands of people outside. Now, did they fire that reporter? No. Did they fire that reporter? No. Right? Isn't it incredible? Isn't it sad? And look what happened to Roseanne. Did they fire Roseanne? Yes. No, but think of it. Puts a picture of an empty, like it had 5%. People were just starting to trickle in. And said, "Not a very good crowd, Mr. President." There was no games. You know what happened that night? People that were sitting on stairwells, people that couldn't get a seat, people that were here only because the fire marshals were so incredible, that shouldn't have even been allowed to come in, with thousands outside. They said, "This is a fraud by the Washington Post." I was there. There were no empty seats. We set a record that evening for crowd attendance because we don't need much of a stage. Basketball, they need a big, you're filled up with people like it is tonight. And we barely got an apology. And he admitted he was wrong. You know where he did it? On his little Twitter account. And that kind of dishonesty happens all the time. Happened at the inauguration. It happened at the inauguration. It happens all the time. These are very, very dishonest people. We are thrilled to be joined tonight by several great Republican leaders. And we're going to start with a friend of mine who's a very special man. Very special. He's a great governor, done a fantastic job. He called me. He built the African American Museum, called me. We went there. It was so beautiful. I was at the opening. We cut the ribbon. Governor Phil Bryant. Governor. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, Phil. Should we bring Phil up here? He's been sick. Come on. Get up here, Phil. Come. Come on, Phil. Get up here. What a great governor he's been. Look at this guy. Is he central casting or what? Is he? Look at this. He's central casting, but you know where he's really good? His heart and his brain. Great brain and great heart. Say a few words.
Thank you. Are we proud to have Donald J. Trump here in Mississippi? Whoa! All right, I won't get started, but I can tell you what, this man has done more as President of the United States in 2 years than any president that I can ever remember or ever studied about. He is a remarkable man that is making America great again.
Thank you very much, Phil. Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves. Tate? Where's Tate? Thanks, Tate. Doing a good job. And Mississippi Secretary of State Delbert Hosemann. Delbert, thank you. Thank you. And I want to thank your members of Congress that are here, because they've been warriors, they've been friends. They helped me with the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country, the biggest tax reform, the great regulation cuts, which could be even more important, frankly, than the tax cuts, if you want to know the truth, because it means jobs. But you have some great congressmen. Trent Kelly. Trent, thank you. Greg Harper. Thank you very much. And David Kustoff. Thank you, David. There's another warrior in the room. These are warriors. Look, the abuse they take, the abuse we all take. If you're not a warrior, you just go home. Go to the corner, put your thumb in your mouth, and say, "Mommy, take me home." You got to be a warrior. And a guy who is a wonderful friend of mine and has always been there for me, Senator Roger Wicker. Roger. What a great, and Mrs. Wicker, thank you. What a great guy. And he's doing great. Get out and vote for him anyway. He's winning by a lot, but get out there and vote. We love Roger. Finally, I want to introduce the person we are all here tonight to support, a true Mississippi patriot, Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. Come on up. Cindy, come up.
Thank you, Mr. President, and I told him he would get a warm Mississippi welcome, and you did not disappoint. Yes! We are the hospitality state, Mr. President, and I tell you, it is such an honor to work with this man. Is he not the best president we have ever had? This is wonderful. You know, early on, I was a supporter of then candidate Donald J. Trump, and I was on his Ag Advisory Committee. And now, every time I walk onto the Senate floor, I want to help President Donald J. Trump.